Hey, what's up everybody? Shaun here, and today I want to talk about how I was able to build 8 different streams of income by the age of 29 that has allowed me the ability to not have to work a job again if I don't want, creating some financial freedom, and allowing me to basically live the life I want to live and pursue the things that I want to pursue, basically living life on my terms. And I think this is really the goal for most people. One of the best ways of doing this is building multiple streams of income. In fact, in this one study that was done with all these self-made millionaires in a book called Rich Habits, they found that 65% of the self-made millionaires had at least 3 streams of income, 45% of self-made millionaires had at least 4 streams of income, and about 29% of self-made millionaires had 5 streams of income or more. Now, I've always loved the quote by Warren Buffett, "If you fail to make money while you sleep, you will die working." Now, keep in mind that this is something that took 5 to 7 years. I did not start all 8 streams of these incomes right away. I started with $400 and no job, and over time I began adding income streams and building different things up. But it also meant a lot of failed business attempts. It also meant different investments that didn't go well. So be sure to stay to the end of this video because I am going to share a few tips and strategies, or overall just some of my advice on how to begin pursuing multiple streams of income. So the very first stream of income that I created was a fitness and nutrition coaching business. This was one that I already had some skill set and knowledge in, basically because I wanted to create a physique for myself, and I was just really into fitness and nutrition. And so I decided to take that skill and knowledge and turn it into a business. Now, it took me a little while to get this thing going. I had another job on the side that I worked some event marketing jobs for that was kind of like my main way of making income. I didn't really enjoy it, but it was that easy way of making money. And so I began building this business first as a way of escaping that first 9-to-5 job. Now, as I got better at understanding how to create an offer and learning how to help people lose 12 to 24 pounds of fat in 90 days eating whatever they want, and learning how to market and talk to clients and prospect and coaching, I was able to turn this business into a full-time thing and eventually get rid of my 9-to-5 or my event marketing job. So the second stream of income that I created was a life coaching business. This was one that I've always had a major passion for and wanted to do for a very long time, but I didn't really know how to go about doing it. Now, after I began building my fitness and nutrition coaching business and I began making enough money to where I was able to pay my bills and also save some, I began taking some of that money and putting it more into my life coaching business to help build that one up as well. This one, eventually I was able to help people create the breakthroughs needed to live life on their terms, find more fulfillment and passion, and it's just something that I've always really loved doing, something I've always wanted to do, and this is something that came on after I built my fitness and nutrition coaching business. By the time I had my fitness coaching business, my life coaching business, this really was making the bulk of my primary active income, and I was spending most of my time coaching clients, finding new prospects, getting leads, and things like that. So even though I was making really good money doing my fitness and life coaching business, I still wanted to be able to make more money, but also, even more importantly, I wanted to find ways of making money where I wasn't trading my time for money. Because if you're going to create financial freedom and lifestyle freedom, you have to find ways of not just trading your time for money. And so this kind of got me going to my next thing, which was real estate investing. So my third stream of income is real estate investing. Now, right now I have 4 different units that I rent out to different people that help me earn an extra couple $1,000s a month. So while it's not an insane amount of money, it is a pretty decent amount of money that I'm able to collect each month or earn that allows me to use that money for different things, as investing more into my businesses, buying other investments, or simply being able to have a base amount of income that also protects me when my coaching business is on its downward cycles. But rental properties really are a fantastic way of getting some nice steady income, accumulating some wealth, and it doesn't take up too much time. Now, I did have to invest out of state because living in California is super expensive, and so I began investing in places like Ohio or Tennessee, which are a much cheaper acquisition costs and have higher cash flow. So this brings me to my 4th income stream, which is flipping houses. So while I was making good money with my fitness and nutrition business, my life coaching business, I began investing in rental properties. I still wanted to find some ways of getting some larger chunks of cash. While rental properties are absolutely fantastic and pretty passive, you don't make a lot of money per unit. And so I wanted to be able to make a lot more in different chunks. And so I figured that flipping houses was the next best thing to do. Now, one of the common misconceptions with flipping houses is that you have to have a lot of money to get started, and that simply isn't the case. In fact, I'll leave a link below in the description box to a video where I was able to acquire a property basically using none of my own money, putting a little bit of my own money into renovations, but basically turning almost no money into $200,000 in the course of a year. So be sure to check out that video. I had multiple issues with this. Number one is I didn't have a lot of time to do my own work or flip properties myself, and also I lived in Los Angeles, which is super expensive. What I started doing was going to out-of-state places like Ohio and Tennessee, where property values are a lot cheaper, and I began flipping houses there. Now, once again, I had to do this completely out of state, so I had to have a really good team behind me. So I began finding really good realtors. I started to search for good contractors, different people to help me with the renovation and flipping process, doing everything completely remote. So this brings me to my next income stream, which is subletting. And this is one that I do that only really earns me a couple $100s a month, and it's something I just started doing recently, but it's still some extra income that I get for doing basically nothing. Now, as of recent, I moved out of my apartment and moved into a home, and so instead of actually just completely getting rid of my apartment, I actually began renting out my room, collecting a few $100s a month in profit. Now, there's a couple reasons why I've been able to do that. Number one is that my apartment was really undervalued, so even though I'm still collecting a little bit of profit, the rate for the room is still at market value or even below market value even for the person renting. So it actually is a win-win situation. And not only that, I keep it at a month-to-month rate so that the person can come and go at any point needed, just needing to give me a 30-day notice as a heads up. You need to make sure that your landlord is okay with it. Luckily, my landlord just wants to make sure that he gets paid and does not care if I have another person living there or not. Many landlords are very much against this, so you definitely want to check that out. The other thing is you want to really make sure you find a good tenant, because it's still technically my apartment and I have liability for this thing. So if this tenant were to like trash the place or completely destroy it, I would be held liable for it. But I have actually known people in areas like Los Angeles who make a full-time living simply finding apartment places that they can rent out from a landlord who's okay with subletting, and then simply turning it around and subletting to somebody else. And they have like 5, 10, 15 different places that they're doing this at. So the sixth income stream that I have on my list is crypto staking or investing. This is something I just started doing recently over this past year or two, and it's a great way of earning some extra passive income from my actual investments. And you can earn upwards of 8% or more, ranging from the type of coin, type of platform that you have. And I do this on different platforms such as Voyager, Gemini Earn, and things like that. I will leave some links below in the description box to things like Voyager and Crypto Earn, where you can earn anywhere from 3 to 5%, upwards of 8%. And there's even some things that earn you up to 19% interest on your money. And like I said, I probably earn around $1,000 a month or so. I don't have all my crypto coins doing this, but I do have a portion of them doing this. The seventh income stream on my list is stock investing or dividend investing. This is also something I've been doing as of recent. Great way of earning some passive income, especially if you're doing dividends where you get paid every quarter or monthly depending on the type of stock. Now, I've actually made some videos before on some good monthly dividends or ETFs, so be sure to check out my channel for those videos. But this is a really good way of just earning some passive income, investing in some different companies. You want to make sure you pick the right companies that have a good history of dividend payouts. Now, the last stream of income that I have is owning a liquor store. This is also something I did as of the last few years. It's another way of just kind of getting some more diversification to different areas. The reason I love liquor stores is that they are essentially recession proof. When times are good, people drink. When times are bad, people drink. It requires very little overhead and also a very little amount of people or employees to run it. You know, this is a very small liquor store, about 1,000 square feet, and it really only takes one employee to run it, sometimes two during the really busy times or days or weekends. So there's not like a lot of different moving parts like owning a restaurant where you might have 15, 20 different people. So it's really easy to manage. This is something I did with a business partner in Nashville. Most of the profits we just circulate back into the business, but I do kind of collect about $1,000 a month or so. But anyways, those are my 8 streams of income. Some things that you really want to keep in mind is that, you know, this didn't all happen at once. Like I said, I had $400 no job when I first started this process. My advice if you're wanting to get started into building multiple streams of income is, you know, whether you have a 9 to 5 or something, you've got to start with having a base income first. The biggest mistake that I see people make is that they'll quit their job and just immediately try to start their own business and realize that it's not really easy. I've had multiple failed business attempts between coaching and different things like that. It took me some time to get started, but have your base income stream that supports you and pays your bills, and start working on that first side hustle that will either overtake the job that you don't like or will just be the next income stream to make money. Dump all your extra money that you're saving into that business and begin building it up. Once that becomes stabilized and is growing and earning you extra income, covers its costs, and begins making a profit, instead of taking that profit and spending it like most people do, which is mistake number 2, take that money and begin reinvesting it into the next income stream. And what you're gonna do over time is you're gonna start stacking these things. And this can build up really, really fast once you get the first couple streams going. And if you're not increasing your expenses as you're doing this, this is where you start to have a compounded effect, and it becomes really easy to magnify your streams of income very, very quickly. So that's my suggestions. But anyways, I hope this video gave you value. If it did, please be sure to smash the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. It'd mean the absolute world to me. Hit that little notification bell for more videos on entrepreneurship, money, personal finance, living life in your terms. But let's get out there and let's build that dream.